Welcome back to Dog Happy Hour. I'm your host, Ayana Hamilton, and today I'm going to show you how to start your own podcast. I started my own podcast last summer, and I'm going to share with you things you'll need to start your own. The first thing you'll need to start a podcast is your theme and name. For example, if you like true crime, you can have a true crime podcast like My Favorite Murder or like mine, a pop culture podcast where you talk about trending topics. Also, think about the genre of your podcast. Since I want my podcast to be fun and easy to listen to, I want to be under the leisure, comedy, and society and culture genre. Next thing you'll want to do is choose a creative name. I went with Dog Happy Hour with Ayana because I love dogs and I talk for an hour an episode. Also want the title to feel like my own talk show, so that's why I included my name. Think about your branding and what you like. If you struggle with coming up with a name, you can always use the podcast name generator by Business Name Generator. It can generate a podcast name with keywords, or if you already have a name, it'll check if it's taken. After that, you'll need to come up with artwork for your podcast, or you can create your own art like I did. There are multiple websites to create artwork, or you can pay someone to do it for you. The second thing you'll need to do is to get your equipment. For beginners, you'll need a microphone and a laptop with a recording app. I used the Blue Yeti X, and I bought this pop filter separately. It makes your audio sound clear and keeps your peas from popping. I choose the Blue Yeti X because the features like smart knob modes and the Yeti X polar patterns. The two modes I use the most is the cardioid mode, and it captures the sound sources that are directly in front of your microphone. It delivers a rich, full-body sound. The second mode is bidirectional mode. It records from both the front and the rear of the microphone. It's ideal for recording an interview between two people. You don't have to use the Blue Yeti X if you don't have the money. There are other great microphone options available. Just make sure you do your research. I also use a MacBook Pro, and the recording app I use is QuickTime Player, and it comes with every version of Mac OS X. The third thing is to choose a hosting site for your podcast. A podcast host is a place to store and distribute your podcast audio files. They provide a podcast RSS feed, basically a listing of all your episodes, that you will need to submit to Apple Podcasts and other podcast directories. I use Buzzsprout, and it's free. Buzzsprout is one of the easiest to use podcast hosting providers for beginners. If you are just getting started, then you'll find it incredibly easy to use. Just upload your media file, and it automatically takes care of the rest. They will also automatically submit your episodes to all the top podcast directories, which ensures that your podcast is available on all devices and apps. Also, if you don't want to make a website, then Buzzsprout can make one for you. You can customize its design and use your own custom domain name. The downside is, even their paid plans have storage and bandwidth limits. Pricing is limited free plan for 90 days. Paid plans start at $12 a month for 3 hours in upload, which is good for me because I usually upload 3 hours of content a month. Fourth thing is to record and edit. Like I said earlier, I use QuickTime Player to record my audio. It's simple and easy. I just make sure I have enough space on my computer before I record so it doesn't stop recording. After recording, you can use any audio program to edit. The one I recommend is Adobe Audition because it's simple and easy to use for beginners. You can also do your own research to figure out what program is best for you because some audio programs you have to pay for. I will explain the editing process for a time. I can do another video about that. The last thing you'll need to do is upload your podcast to a hosting site. You'll need to choose a title name and description. You can also set your podcast to come out at a specific time. And there you have it, your own podcast. Have fun recording!